Hey there friends, Nibs again. Out here in the garage tonight doing a little bit of goofing around, and we have another winter storm bearing down on us. I say winter storm. For March, I guess it's a winter storm. It's supposed to get maybe a couple inches of snow at the most, but I wanted to get out here and do this. Is one I've been thinking about for a while. I've been collecting these CO2 and spring-powered BB pistols pretty much all winter long. Really cheap stuff, but fun little plinkers. So I thought it would be fun to do a comparison video for you guys with these three. These are all spring-powered, so I like those so they don't have to have CO2 and they're not affected by being out here in the cold. But the first one we have is the Crosman PSM45, and we'll go through what I like about them, each one, and what maybe is lacking with each one. But the next one is the Umarex DX17, which is very much like the Marksman from way back in the day. Marksman 1010, I think, is one of the model numbers. And then the last one we're going to be trying out here, and these are all brand new, current production guns. You can still get these, but I have the Daisy Model 340. This one I had a problem with, and I did a video on that, how to fix the, it was not feeding reliably. The first one would feed and then nothing else would come through, but I found a problem where I had to do a little modification to the magazine, and that actually allowed, it was actually the magazine eject button was squeezing the magazine, not letting the follower push the BBs up in. But let's go ahead and we'll talk about each one for starters. So the Daisy, things that I like about it is that it is spring powered for starters. That's the same with all of these, and it you cock it back with that, and it actually has a it really doesn't do anything, but it has a hammer in the back here that that drops and gives it a little bit more realism. One of the other things I really like about this one is the huge BB magazine reservoir that it has. So there's a door here you flip up. You can put up to 200 BBs in there, and now all you have to do to refill the actual magazine portion is pull this little clip out of the bottom to hear that click. Give it a little shake, and then up to 13 BBs. And I've had pretty good luck getting that full. I'll show you that in a second. But you give it a shake like this with it pointing down, then you push this back in till it clicks again. Now you can take that out, and it did not fill up. I don't know why. Gonna make a liar out of me. I got some in there that time, but I do like that feature. You can just shoot it, and then if you shoot it and it doesn't have any more come out, you pull it out again, give it another shake. Let me see if I can work it better without it in the gun. It doesn't have to be in the gun to. Yeah, that seems to be working better. So now I've got BBs going all the way down to there. Maybe it's not 13, but it's pretty close. We'll run all three of these over the chronograph here in a minute. The Daisy's not very powerful. It's tin can powerful, so we'll play around with that in a little bit as well. So that's the Daisy. I do like this one. Actually is able to be taken down like a real, kind of like a 1911. That's pretty cool. So the next one is the Umarex DX17. This is the only one out of the bunch that actually is supposed to be capable of shooting a pellet. In my experience with this, just like the Marksman, I've had several of those Marksmans over the years, and they really do not have enough power to shoot pellets. So I just stick with the BBs with this thing, and it works just fine with that. But I do like, it's got kind of a, looks like a 1911 safety in the back here, and that's how you start the process of cocking it and loading it. So you flip that down, and little thing flips back, so now you got to pull back on the slide there. While you got the slide back, you actually, there's a little button right here just below the barrel. You push down on that. Oop, lost a few BBs, but you pop that up, and if you wanted to try to shoot a pellet out of there, that's where you would load the pellet into that hole right there. If you want to load it with BBs, there's this magazine up top, and it holds like, I believe, 18 BBs. Let me put a few more in there. So there you go. That's how you do that, and then you push that forward, and it will fire. So it does have a cross bolt safety here, but I believe it has to be cocked for that safety to, yeah, it has to be cocked for that safety to work. So that's pretty cool. And the DX17 so far, from what I've seen, is the most powerful out of the three. So that is a plus for that one. Now we'll talk about the PSM45. Right off the bat, this just feels like more like a real gun. It has a real heft to it. I really like the feel of the grip. It's got nice stippling. It's got a metal slide up top here. Very much has a real weighty feel, like a real gun, more so than the other two. This one has a dropout magazine that it's not hard to load, but it's not the easiest of the three, so just keep that in mind as well. This one seems like the power output is very in line with the 340. Both of those are pretty light compared to the DX17 using BBs. I am just using these the very budget-friendly Daisy BBs here, the premium grade BBs. You can get 6,000 of those for 6,000 of those for probably less than 15 bucks. But this one does have a little piece of pick rail here if you wanted to mount a laser up there or something like that. So does the DX17. The Daisy does not. None of these have any kind of mounting option up top for a for any kind of optic or red dot or anything like that. The sights on these are very rudimentary. Pretty much the Crosman does have a white dot for the front, so you can see that pretty well, and then fixed rear sights. In my little bit of testing I've done with all these beforehand, the PSM45 does seem like the most consistently accurate gun, but they are all BB guns. So this one did not have any kind of marks, but I did put some orange paint on the front sight on the Daisy. Again, fixed sights in the rear on that one. And then the Umarex has a, it's actually pretty dull, but it does have a fiber optic front sight and a fixed rear sight. It does appear that you could possibly drift that if you needed to adjust the windage. I can't tell for sure. But anyway, so let's go ahead and we'll run these guys across the chronograph, and I'll kind of give you guys a ballpark of the. I'm not going to run the triggers on these, but we'll run them across the chronograph, get some numbers with that. Then I'll set some cans up and we'll do some plinking, which is what they're made for. So this is the Powerline 340. So 168, not much. Like I said, it is tin can plinking speed. 164. And 171. So that's not bad. Let's go ahead and do the PSM 45. 177. So when you cock this guy, you gotta make sure you pull it all the way back. If you don't pull it all the way back, it's not gonna feed a BB out of the magazine. I found that to be the case. You can short stroke it, so to speak, and it will it'll cock it, but you won't feed a BB. So you want to make sure you pull it all the way back till it stops and then let it go. And 174. So a couple feet more on that one than the Daisy. But now we'll do the Umarex. And let's 228, so quite a bit more, about 50 feet per second more. That's a pretty significant jump in power. 223. So if you're looking for something with the most power, it looks like the Umarex is going to have the advantage for sure. And 222, that's really consistent too. So as far as let's just kind of talk about the triggers. I guess I could run the triggers across the chronograph or across the trigger pull gauge. And they're not so heavy that it's going to break the trigger pull gauge. So let's just do those real quick. So here is I'm just going to do one pull with each one and be done with it. So here is I have my rag box across the garage here in the middle of the garage, so that's where my my BBs will go as I pull this trigger. So that one is not terrible. 1 pound, 13.8 ounces. That's the Umarex. Let's do the Crosman next. Again, not terrible. I've got much more expensive pellet guns out here that have far worse triggers than that. 2 pounds, 10 ounces. And then finally the Daisy 340. Again, 2 pounds, 2.4 ounces. So none of them are horrible triggers at all. So none of these guns, these are, I think the Crosman's the most expensive at like 40 bucks, around 40 bucks. Rest of it, I think you can find these Daisies for less than $20. And I think the Umarex was right around 20 some, right around 30 bucks maybe. So, all right, I'm gonna cut the camera off real quick. I'm gonna set some cans up and we'll do some plinking, see how they do with those. Stand by. Alrighty, so I am back and I have 4 pretty fresh soda cans. One of them's got a couple of dings in them already, but I want to see if I can hit the 4 of them away without knocking the other ones down. But I really want to kind of see what these BB guns will do to those cans. So let's start off with the Crosman. And I'll start from left to right. And we'll take a quick look at those cans to see if... Oops, didn't knock that one down. There we go. Close enough. And this one, like I said, seems to me to be the most consistently accurate. Let me go grab one of those cans. All right, so it did not puncture any of those cans. This is the first one I shot, and it was a dead square hit. It did just barely crease the metal and make a split, but it did not puncture the aluminum. So let me set this back up and we'll continue on with the next one. Alrighty, so now we will continue on with the Daisy. And again, we'll work from left to right and see what we can do here. can't knock it down from behind the other one, so. Ooh. I hit the, I don't know what I'm hitting here. Let's hit the one on the right here. They're not. All right, I'm hitting to the left. That's what's happening here. All right, I'm gonna hit that one on the right. Oop, gotta reload my magazine. That is the one I was aiming at. So, just so you know, let's hit that one on the left there, see if we can knock that one out. I hit it. Now that I kind of figured my point of aim out. Oop. I guess I didn't get enough. I got a few that time. I don't know what happened. I think I had 2 BBs there. All right. It's just taking a little longer to clear these cans than I was hoping for. No, I'm not getting a BB to feed. There's still BBs in there. Oh, I have BBs stuck up here in the top. That's the problem. That's better. All right. All right, let's see if I can knock that pink one over and then we'll be done. Or stand it back up. All right, they're laying against the back of the box there, so I'm not gonna be able to knock those down. But that's pretty fun. Stand by, let me set those back up again, and I'm sure that didn't pierce it. If the PSM45 didn't pierce, then that was less power than that. So, but let me stand those back up and we'll hit them with the Umarex. Alrighty, I am back, and this one has the most power. I did play around with this one earlier, and it needs to be, I got to do some serious Kentucky windage with the, well, Kentucky elevation, I guess you could call it, because it is hitting about 4 inches high. If I hold with the, sights aligned like you would normally hold them, I'm hitting about 4 inches high. So I have to actually bury the front notch right at the bottom of the back notch, and then I kind of get a pretty good sight. And I'm sure that one's going through the can. Oop. There we go. Not sure where that second one went. I think it's only going through one side of the can though, because I can hear the BB kind of rolling around inside that can. Oh, I wasn't shooting at that can. Shooting at that pink and white one. Oh, let me stand that other one back up again. So this one just barely has enough power to puncture the can. It went in right there, and the BB's still inside, so none of them are big powerhouses, but they're fun little plinkers for sure. All right, let's knock that green can down and then we'll finish up. Not bad. Let me grab that one real quick and take a look at what it did to that one, and then we'll finish up. So I think it went in right there. That's what it looks like. And it almost tried to come out right there, but it's still inside there, so that is pretty cool. Can I pick a winner? Not really. They all have their good points and bad points. All three of them shoot really good. I like the magazine on this one, the extra BBs you can carry along with it. The PSM45 has the most realism, and as far as overall accuracy, like shooting at a bullseye, I think it would probably win that competition. But the Umarex has the most power, so they all have their good points and bad points. You can buy all three of them for less than $100, so I don't think you can go wrong if you got all three of them and just came out and had fun like I'm doing here. So a little bit longer video, but we're just checking all three of these out really good, so hope you guys enjoyed the video. Till next time, have a great day.